everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. My name's Kevin, or Kev. This is minisbykev, and I'm a miniaturist living in New England who likes to make miniatures of a lot of different kinds of stuff. In this week's video, my office is a mess, as you can see, but that's not the point of this week's video. I was working on this, which is my murder mystery dollhouse, which is my new project. I'm about to knock some stuff over, but I decided to shift gears because it's taking more time than I thought. Well, I knew it was gonna take time to build onto this, to build the stuff that was missing out of the kit. So this week, we're actually going back to this little tiny 24th scale bakery apartment thing that's loosely inspired by Studio Ghibli's Kiki's delivery service. If you've been here since like the very beginning, you may know that my first miniature, which is right there, you can kind of see it, is a mattress, which I learned how to make from watching Bentley House Miniatures, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels. And I've always had a knack for making beds and mattresses, and I don't know why. I think it's just because it's something that like, it's relatively simple, but can look good when you're done really quickly. So I don't know why I'm just in the mood to make something, a bed. And this week, I am going to make a bed to go in the apartment. This is the first piece of furniture that's actually gonna go in the apartment section that's right here behind me, because the bottom is the bakery. The top part is going to be the apartment. This is the first piece of furniture I'm actually making for the apartment part, and it is going to be the bed. Now, I'm really inspired by the, like I said, Kiki's delivery service. I'll put like a screenshot right here on screen so you can see the one from the movie that she sleeps in. It's like a wrought iron, and I kind of want to recreate that. However, I don't really know how I'm gonna do it because I've never made a 24 scale bed before. It's not just the literal inches that has to be shrunk, it's also the thickness of all the materials. In 24 scale, I might have to use Q-tips or toothpicks. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just really inspired to make something for this thing back here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, and we're gonna start figuring out how I'm going to make this, because I do not know yet. I'm thinking maybe Q-tips or toothpicks. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have any small dowel rods, so that eliminates that option. It's probably gonna be Q-tips. I feel like it'd be easy to bend. I don't know. Let's just get going. I'm not gonna lie. After the intro clip, I've been procrastinating a little bit, just because I'm a little stressed on how this is going to look. I went ahead and I figured out the like size roughly I want it to be, but I'm a little just like stressed. I don't know why. Now I don't know if I'm going to make it out of Q-tips or toothpicks. I don't know. But I need to start, I think, with the mattress size. So this is the size. Nope. This is the size that the whole bed needs to be. I think I need to wash down this first, actually. So let me get a wet paper towel. But this is the size that the mattress needs to be, and then the frame needs to go around it. This is how tall it's going to be, I believe, question mark. And I have some like other dimensions that I need, but I don't know why. This is stressing me out just a tiny, tiny little bit. But I need to clean this down, and then we'll get it working more on this. You might be thinking, Kevin, don't you need a new cutting mat? No, I don't. First of all, some of this paint does come off just with a wet rag, but I also, three things. One, these are expensive. Two, it still works. And three, I have a weird sentimental attachment to this one. Maybe it's because I got it at Joann in like 2022, way before they closed down, and knowing I can't go back there and buy another one makes me sad. So yes, I have a strange sentimental attachment to this gross cutting mat. Now, despite his regalia, if you're new here, Playmobil figures are 24 scale, and this dollhouse is 24 scale. You can't really see. Just knocked a bunch of stuff over. Now, I thought this looked a little too big, but now that I'm having him here, if this is supposed to be a twin size bed, it actually looks a little small. Well, if you didn't have this insane hat on. No, okay. So that actually, without the hat, this is a perfect size. Okay, then I'm a little less stressed about the size and more stressed about what I'm gonna make it out of. I think I'm gonna have him off to the side just so I can compare while I'm building to make sure everything looks like it's still proportional. The bakery part of this, nothing is glued down still. Oh no. I've yet to glue down anything that's gonna go into the bakery section. I still have everything that Nancy sent me right here that will go into the bakery. I haven't worked on this in a long time, so what I'm gonna do first, I'm actually going to make a mattress out of mat board. I usually do it out of foam, but I actually don't think I have any foam board here. So I'm gonna make it this mattress first, so I can get an idea what it's gonna look like in the room, and then I can also just drape fabric onto that. I don't really need to do a faux mattress. Does that make sense? Let me just show you. I was looking in my mat board drawer, and I wasn't even looking for some scrap. I was gonna just use a regular piece, but look at this. This is a piece of scrap board, scrap mat board that is actually the exact width I need it to be. And this is why I never throw away my offcuts, because sometimes you'll just find the perfect thing that you need. And look at that. Now I don't need to keep it out of a landfill. Working with dollhouses is very difficult because sometimes I want to show you something and I don't really know how to show you because I don't have a good setup for this. So I went ahead and moved you higher in hopes that nothing falls out. Now, I cut this a little bit smaller than it's supposed to be, just so that way I could even out this, make sure it's the exact size. But this is more or less the room it's gonna take up. It's the right length. It's slightly skinnier than a twin size bed by like a little bit. So I think it's fine. I think I'm gonna put like a little chest here, maybe a desk over here, a little table. I don't know exactly. I know I wanna make a desk and a little tiny chest to go right here. The table, undecided. I don't know if it'll fit. I kinda wanna do a rug of some sort. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna keep working on this. I cannot remember the last thing I showed you, but here is the foot part of the footboard, I guess, opposite of headboard. This is the headboard. I just glued these on not that long ago, so I have to be really careful. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the middle, and then I have the rails to hold the mattress, although the mattress, as I said before, is a little bit smaller, so it's not actually going to, it's gonna be too big. The railings are gonna be too far apart. It's gonna fall through, but I'm gonna fix that. For now though, I just need to actually focus on getting the bed put together, the bed frame. So now I'm gonna go ahead and glue these in here. Here is the headboard. Here is the footboard. Now I just need to glue these together and let those dry. A lot of drying time. I feel like a lot of miniatures is just drying time. Although I have to be careful to put these at the exact right height. Oof, okay, I think I'm gonna have to do one side, let it dry, and then do the other side. This isn't really the sturdiest either. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I'm not gluing both sides. Okay, this is gonna be in the side seat, so. Question is, how do I get it to stay up? Or just will it? I'm skeptical. Oh, see, that's what I expected to happen. Maybe if I... Nope. I think I might have to hold this one for a little bit while it dries. So we'll be back. So I went ahead and glued it all together, and I put in these slats, which are actually not dry yet, so I need to be careful. If you're not gonna see these, so it doesn't matter if they look nice, doesn't matter how they're spaced. However, what I'm realizing now is I thought that the smaller mattress would be fine, but when I put it up here, it is quite small. In fact, if I moved it all the way over where it's supposed to be, there's quite a dip here. And I thought maybe adding fabric or something to make it look like a blanket or like a sheet would kind of bulk it up, but I don't think it's gonna bulk it up that much. So I actually think what I'm gonna do is add a couple more layers of some scrap material on this side. I'm just gonna cut this a few times, I think. Basically build like an extension onto this box because that's too big of a gap. So I need to do that to fix the mattress, and then it like barely fits in here, by the way. I need to do that. I need to let this dry, and then we need to paint it all black. And then I think I might need to do a coat of Mod Podge because I want it to look like an iron bed, and I need it to be kind of shiny. It is a little lopsided, but I don't really care. I think it's cute, and that's all that matters. And I'm actually kind of proud of how this turned out. I was really, really worried. Now I'm not. I actually think that painting it also will hopefully kind of seal it all together, because it is, like I said, it's a little fragile, it's a little lopsided, but it's also a little wobbly, and I'm a little nervous if I were to bend this even a little bit, it would just kind of fall apart. Granted, this is going to be glued on here eventually, so that'll give it some stability, and it is going to be glued into the house at some point, because this one, I'm not actually planning on temporarily adding anything to this build. I plan on just gluing everything down, I'm pretty sure. Like 90% sure I'm just gonna glue everything down because I don't want to deal with that. All right, let's get expanding this, and maybe I'll start painting this tonight. I think it's gonna take more than one coat, and it's pretty late, so maybe I'll do one quick coat tonight. We'll have to see. This ended up taking longer than I thought I was going to extend this little thing. I'm not gonna bother filling it in on this side because it doesn't really matter, but now it fits perfectly. Yay. Okay, now it is late. I have to work in the morning. Do I paint this because it's gonna take a while? I don't know. I just realized this is more crooked than I thought. I don't care is what I'm gonna tell myself. You can't tell when it's down, so. I think I'm gonna go to sleep and we'll just paint this in the morning, which is not morning for you. It is next day and it's time to do the first layer of paint. Now, I already got paint on myself somehow. Don't really know how. I don't really have any bigger brushes right now that I can see. It's really warm where I live. Not a huge fan of that. Okay, gotta do thin coats because I can hear moths or something hitting my window. I need to do thin coats because I don't want this to look chunky. Okay, that was already too much. Yep, that was already too much. Cool. That's a big moth outside my window. He's not happy. He wants the light. It's dark out. I don't know if I said this before, but these I painted with glue to make sure that when I painted these with paint, they wouldn't start to like disintegrate or fray at that point. But these are painted with glue already. Just the tops of the Q-tips. I mean, I like how that's looking so far. It's just taking me an incredibly long time to get it done. And I was a little skeptical about the how these Q-tips were gonna look and if I was gonna like it. However, now that I've painted them, I do really like how that's looking. Like, you can't really tell it's a Q-tip. I mean, you can tell it's a Q-tip because I told you it's a Q-tip, but like, if this is a bed, I think that looks normal for a bed. I think, maybe. Maybe I'm just being delusional, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be seen on this, so I'm gonna paint most of it black, just because, again, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be covered. I know the mattress is gonna cover the inner beams, but I might paint those anyway, just to give it all the once over. What makes me nervous is this feels the least attached out of everything in this, so I need to be really careful with the headboard, at least till I can manage to get that mattress on here. Okay, so this is done. This was gonna be a first coat, but to be honest, I don't even think that this needs a second one. Maybe a couple touch-ups if I missed anything, but I think for the most part, I got it. And I like it. I think it looks really good. Oh, see, some touch-ups because I missed some spots, but I do think I wanna do a coat of Mod Podge because an iron bed would be like shinier than this. It's gonna be matte when it dries, so I might do a coat of Mod Podge on that. Now the question is, no, I'm not gonna paint this because this is going to be wrapped in fabric anyway, so it doesn't really matter. What does this look like though? Doesn't matter if this gets paint on it, if this isn't completely dry. Look at that, it's like an actual little bed. So cute. Okay, quite happy with how this is turning out. I feel like I just jinxed myself, but yeah, there's a couple places I need to touch up the paint that I missed. But I think for the most part, we're good. Yep, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I will check to see if I missed any other spots. I'm pretty sure I got every little bit of this painted black. I really need to double check though, because I'm about to do the Mod Podge layer. Because like I said, I feel like, what is this called? Cast iron. Well, this isn't cast iron, but it's meant to look like cast iron. Usually it's kind of shiny, and this, I probably ruined that. It's kind of shiny because it's metal, and I want this to be shiny. But the issue is once I paint over this, I won't be able to paint it black again, I don't think, right? I don't think so. So I missed a tiny little spot there, but otherwise I think we're good to go ahead and do the Mod Podge. I used to call it Mod Podge. I don't know why, it's just ingrained in my brain that way. So I need to do a little bit more black, which means I'm probably gonna have to wait for this to dry before I can actually paint with Mod Podge, or it'll smear, which is a little frustrating because I wanted to go ahead and paint it. It's gonna take a while for the Mod Podge to dry also. I guess I will double check everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just double check everything, touch up any pieces that are missing black, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint this with the Mod Podge so it's shiny. And then I gotta do the mattress. I mean, I gotta like do something with the mattress, but okay, gonna do that. It is so hot today, I feel like I'm gonna explode, but I found some of this, and I'm gonna do a light batting layer, which is from an old quilt I did, to make it just look a little bit fluffier. Just one light layer of it. And I'm gonna do this for the bed sheet, and I'm gonna use this to make the bed blanket. It's so hard to think about blankets right now because I'm living in a place where it's very hot today, and I feel like I'm gonna explode from the heat. So it's very difficult to think about this right now, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, if I can get my scissors down, and cut out the pieces I need and start gluing stuff down. Turn a fan on, point it directly at my face, and hope I don't explode into fire. Okay, let's get going. Oh, gotta be careful. Be very careful. Be very careful. These scissors are very sharp. I'm clumsy. Don't be like me. Be safe. I'm just gonna glue this down, and I cut out some pieces actually from this scrap, and I'm gonna glue this down. Also over here watching Bentley House Miniatures' new video, and gonna get this done today. I want to finish this bed today, so luckily I have an hour-long video to watch. I actually have a huge scrap bag of fabrics that I keep around for various reasons. This is, I ripped an old pair of shorts, and so I kept the fabric so I could sew with it in some way, and I found this pocket lining, and I actually think that I could use this instead because I like to use recycled materials if I can, just to prevent it from going to a landfill. And I think if it's just going to be the bed sheet, this is fine. So I actually think I'm going to use I'm still going to use this main color as a blanket, which is going to cover most of this bed anyway. But for a base layer, I think I can just use this pants lining, shorts lining, whatever this is. Yeah, it's definitely from an old short. This is why I keep a lot of stuff. If you have the room, I just keep a bag quite large of all the scraps from any project I basically ever worked on, and I just dig through it looking for stuff. So I'm gonna use this and make the little bed. I went ahead and made this, and it's really sloppy looking, but I've already tested it in the bed. You can't see the sloppy parts. I specifically made it so that way you wouldn't see the slop. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it to this because I don't want to ever have to take this off. It's gonna hide all my imperfections, and to be honest, I think that, like I said before, I'm pretty sure this whole dollhouse is just gonna be glued down anyway. I'm not gonna have anything be removable because it's just too tiny. I actually don't know if this is enough to hold it. So let's put a little bit. This is the end that you're not gonna see because it's at the other end of the bed. And there's still gonna be a blanket on here. It is a little big. It's fine. So here it is. Here's a little bed. Like I said, I put a little piece in the bottom because I noticed you can kind of see underneath the bed and it looked really bad. So I did a little bit of trim in hopes that it will hide some of the ugly piece. Although I'm now seeing this, which I don't like. Where did that come from? I don't know, I'll fix that. Okay, but there it is. Now I just need to do the blanket out of this. Yay. The bed is drying. I've cut out what looks like a Band-Aid, but it's supposed to be a pillow, and some of the fabric. Now I'm gonna mix glue in this water and dunk them both so I can get them into the shape I want them to be. This usually works pretty well. I'm a little nervous because I haven't done it in a while. I feel like maybe this is too much water, but I feel like it's gonna soak up a lot, so yeah, it's too much water, I think. Hit my head. Let's come back with a little bit less water. All right, we have a third of the amount of water. This seems like a more normal amount. I can never remember the exact glue to water ratio, but I don't like that not all the glue dissolves. It's just kind of chunky. And it really does need to all dissolve for this to work right. well, spilled some of it. Hopefully this is a good enough mix. We're gonna find out. Now to, oh, I'm gonna need tweezers, aren't I? I really hope this works. I've never done an entire pillow, I don't think. So here's hoping. There's a lot of fabric in that. I feel like it's gonna really need to be saturated since this is pretty thick. There's no way to avoid getting this on my hands. I want it to look like somebody really scrunched their head up on it, you know? Make it look lived in. It's just gonna, see, I'm gonna go ahead and try and hold this in place to try and get it to dry a little bit and turn on this fan. So I'm gonna turn off the camera so you're not deafened by the fan. I'm having to work really quickly. So this pillow was mostly dry, so I went ahead and just glued it down. However, when I was trying to do the blanket and the pillow, I accidentally collapsed the side of the bed, so I had to glue it back together in hopes that it will stay like this. So I'm definitely gonna be gluing this into the house, whether or not other stuff does, because this is very fragile. Now, I let this soak for a while in hopes that it would help it like shape. I don't know if this is gonna work very well. I've done this before in this exact way, and I was nervous because I hadn't done it in a while, and that was probably for good reason, because I'm kind of struggling a little bit. I need to squeeze some of the water out in hopes that I can get this all, okay, it's a little dirty now. How did that even happen? It was a clean cup. Okay, at least it's coming off. Okay, so I want it to look like somebody had come off and kind of just like kicked their blanket down, you know? The issue is, how do I get it to stay down like this while it's drying? It just wants to go back up. And I thought by putting more liquid in it, it would help weigh it down. Maybe like a sewing needle, I could tack it down. I don't know, I've never really had this much issue with it. Maybe if I don't squeeze out the extra liquid, I'm gonna let it drip though. Yeah, that's like way too much. I just feel like, am I gonna have to hold this? I can't put too much pressure on it because the whole bed will collapse again. Okay, well this side is kind of actually doing what I want it to do. And this is the side that you're gonna see anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. I don't know, I'm kind of like freaking out right now. I just can't put too much pressure on this or I will break it again. See, the thing is I can glue it on this side. So you're not gonna see this side, it's gonna be up against a wall. Okay, if I can get it to dry like this, I'll be happy. So we'll be right back. I'm gonna let this sit for a while. So that is that on that, and this is this. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I think it's really cute. I am a little unsure about the color pink I chose. I had to go through a lot of different fabrics that I own. I'm trying to get it to focus. I went through a lot of different fabrics I own, and I kind of landed on this one, but I'm afraid it's a little too skin tone colored. Like if I hold it next to a Playmobil, I feel like they're the same. Well, maybe not. The pink's like, eh, but I think it'll, once it's put into the room, it'll blend in more. I think it's a nice contrast with the black, but it does kind of, the like metal bed with the white mattress is just kind of giving like mental institution patient, which I'm not super huge fan of. I'm hoping, like I said, once everything gets in the room, it won't really like stand out as much. Fingers crossed. One thing I didn't think about is the fact that the mat board had some writing on it, which you can kind of see on this side through the sheet. However, when it's put in, it's gonna be up against a wall like this. So the side that has the writing, what? Almost broke, dropped and broke it. The side that has the writing will be up against the wall, so you won't actually see it. As you can see back there, I have actually not worked on this dollhouse because work's been busy, but that dollhouse needs to be completed soon. The outside needs to be fully formed. Now I got some suggestions on how to finish it, and I think I am gonna actually just do mat board because MDF is, first of all, expensive. Like really expensive, didn't realize how expensive. Very giant, so I have to rent like a van to just get it home. And then I have to use power tools to cut it. And for just such a small portion of this dollhouse, I think that I can use mat board to complete the roof and the pieces for the porch. And again, I'm not actually making it look exactly how the kit looks because of the house I'm basing it off of. So there's that. I'm hoping that maybe my next video will be working on that, or I might be working on this again, depending on how this is being. This being this, which these are the boxes that have all the goodies that Nancy sent me, which I have a video I'll link above if you want to watch that. I might be working in the bakery apartment again just because I know that once I actually start working on this, it's going to take me a while to get it done. I'm really like a little nervous about that, so that's it for this week. If you like me or you like miniatures, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!